Well, hello, hello, and welcome to another edition of Finally Free with me, Delores Jones, your comeback coach. All right. It is my job to help you move beyond labels, limitations, and low self esteem so you're free to be powerful, successful, and unstoppable. The way that I do that is I bring people on, just like you, queens. And even some kings from time to time. All right. So, what are the four things every woman needs to be independent and free? I'm glad you asked. I'm so honored to have my girl back in the studio. I'm talking about Mrs. Sinitria Hampton Monk, and she's brought her crew with her. So I'm going to allow her to introduce her crew. Sinitria, you're doing big things, honey. I'm loving the T-shirt that says Black Ownership Matters. Tell us about that, and why do we have these beautiful queens here?
I am a real estate broker in Kansas, Missouri, and Georgia, and we have been talking about the necessity of Black home ownership.
Right.
We are noticing with the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, we have a mission to get 2 million families, Black families, to own homes in 5 years. We're at the 3 year mark, and we are driving and pushing in order to make that happen. We're educating, we're helping with credit, we're helping with get your taxes in order. Everything that we can do in order to help you be successful, we are on that mission. Because the percentage of white home ownership is a little over 70%, and the percentage of Black home ownership is like 41.3%. So we need to
Wow.
be comparable to that. We've talked about many times where our grandparents, great grandparents, you hear about stories where we owned land, we owned property, and we were uh, that's not what we do anymore. You know what I'm saying? We don't we're renting, we're not owning, we're giving our money away, we're putting our money in things that don't appreciate. And so we are trying to help, and we're starting at a grassroots level, trying to help and offer services and alternatives to those who don't see a way.
Right.
So I have Sandra here, Sandra Thompson. She is a licensed realtor in the state of Missouri, and she's crossing over to Kansas
All right.
and Georgia. We going into
Georgia.
Texas. We going everywhere we can go. So we have
Scoot over a little bit.
Brianni Colbert. She is a licensed real estate agent in Kansas. She's crossing over to Missouri. She's going into Texas. We're going into Georgia. As I stated, we going everywhere. And
All
then
right.
we have Miss Vita Drew, and she is our credit. She works with us in credit. Now, all of us do taxes. They come under me, and we've all been training, and we've been doing taxes. So when you come in our office, we can help you get your taxes in order. We can help you get your credit repaired, and we can help you buy a home. So
Wow.
we're
It's
doing
like
all
a
those things.
one-stop
It's a
shop.
one-stop shop. It's a one-stop shop, honey.
So what we're going to do is I want to say hello to a lot of our queens that are here. Now listen, you all, these people are from all over the world, from Africa. We can go on and on and on. And they're saying hello already. I have EB, I have Deborah, I have Stephanie and Lawrence and Rita. And so you all remember to send your questions or your comments. This is the Fly Nubian Queen Network. And I am so honored to be one of those queens, Professor Delores Jones, giving you what I know, which is information to set you free. Okay. So ladies, this is just we're gonna have a conversation, and 100,000 people are watching, okay, or more. So just get relaxed, all right. And so when you think in terms of being an independent woman, let's go around the room and just give me what comes to mind. One word that comes to mind when you think about being independent.
Um, Fearlessness.
Fearlessness. You can use that mic right there.
Yeah, I would say,
Here, take it out and hold it.
okay.
Both of you all. Thank you. Want to make sure you're heard, okay? So the definition of independence, you said fearlessness,
Yeah. I would say financial stability.
financial stability,
I would say determination, motivation.
determination, and Sinitria.
Um, what was the question? No, the word that comes to independence is, I guess it would be confident.
Confidence. Mhm. Confidence in yourself, confidence in God.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think in terms, I'm just going to give a brief scenario of your story
Mhm.
because I remember when you first came on, you talked about having to file bankruptcy at the age
Yeah.
of 22.
Mhm.
How many credit cards did you have at the time?
21.
21 credit cards.
Jeez.
And how old were you?
I was in
You were
my early
22?
20s. I was 20. Hold on. I was probably about 23.
Okay. And then you had your first child when?
21.
21. So you had a lot going on.
Yeah.
When did you have your second child?
30.
30. Okay. Was life like a box of chocolates, or were you feeling like the world was on top of you instead of you being on top of the world?
Well, it was I was in transition,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew with a second child coming, I had to be stable. So that was my prayer. I prayed and asked God for stability
Mm-hmm.
to settle me in my spirit. So I didn't feel all over the place because I had a baby coming and it was a girl.
Wow.
I thought it was easier for me to raise my son,
Mm-hmm.
and but when you have a daughter, oh God, it's a
Yeah.
totally different
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I know
You
we,
know?
we can be a handful. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to try to make sure you guys can hear us well. Let's see, Mr. Walker, if you could be so kind as to, I need my camera a little closer so that they can hear me. All right, self confidence, that one there. We got like 4, 5, 6. No, that one. 4, 5, 6, 7. That one. Thank you. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Uh, let's see what that is. Let me have it closer. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Want to make sure y'all can hear a sister. Okay. Let me make sure you can hear. We don't want that one. We don't want that one either. Okay. Is that better, you all? Queens? Okay. So much love to you. We'll have to push that back and, I don't know what else.
We'll
Okay.
make it do
We'll
what
make
it
it do
do.
what it do. So anyway, we'll kind of shift it. But anyway, so Sinitria is here. And like I said, we're talking about the 4 things that women need in order to be independent and free. I mean, freedom. We talked about self confidence. We talked about the fact you had 2 children,
Oh God, yeah.
bankruptcy. So in essence, it doesn't have to end. And so what I
No.
thought about is resiliency because that's what it's
Yes.
all about.
Yes.
My motto is I want to show you how to bounce back better, not bitter,
Mhm.
through life experiences and bad decisions. And you all know as women, we can make a lot of them. All
Absolutely.
right. So when was that aha moment for you, Sinitria? And then how long did it take you? One person said, how long does it take usually to repair, your credit? What does your credit score have to look like to buy a home? These are different things. But I think you were talking about firstly starting from the inside out. What does
You
that look
have
like?
to, because if you don't change your mentality,
Mhm.
if you don't change your mindset, you can still try to move forward. You can't move forward with a mentality of being broke,
Okay.
a mentality of being of that somebody owes you something. Nobody owes us anything. It's your responsibility to take the tools or to research and find the tools and move forward in that. So once you change that mentality,
Yes.
it helps you move a lot further quicker.
A lot further and quicker.
Uh-huh.
All right. So it's
Yeah.
your mentality. Mr. Walker, I'm going to ask you one more time. I know you being an engineer, we're going to have to shift the camera back a little bit on my phone. Thank you. So I can get everybody back in. Y'all just look, I just have a tribe of queens in here. Nobody told me.
I told
Say
you
hi to
yesterday.
everybody. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, well, no, we will just work with it. Okay. Thank you.
I told
All
her
right, that's
yesterday.
great.
I did tell her yesterday.
All
y'all.
right, all right. So y'all just talk louder.
We
Okay.
will talk loud.
All right. So you gotta check yourself.
You have to.
You gotta check yourself. You can't be a victim.
Mhm.
You can either be a volunteer, because victims, I often tell women, if a man comes through your door and he was not invited,
Ha! I
then
said
you
it.
are a victim.
Uh-huh.
But if you wake up and say, who is this sleeping in my bed? We ain't talking about no bears and portraits and all this other stuff. You open the door and you let him in. So once we move from victimhood to saying, look, I have a part to play in the victory. So, ladies, I want you to think about the time when you felt trapped and think about your finally free moment. And that's what I was talking to Sinitria about. And that's what the show really is all about. Who wants to go next?
Don't everybody speak at once.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go first. Then.
Thank you.
Mine has to do with
Who
working
are
a
you?
9 to 5.
Who are you?
I'm right here. Can you?
What's your name?
My name is Sandra.
Okay.
Hi. I'm sorry. My name is Sandra. So I felt trapped working a 9 to 5. I think- Um, I felt like I could, I could only hit a certain, ceiling. I couldn't get further than the ceiling. Working a 9 to 5, I had all these, um, pretty much student loans, all these bills, and the money never added up. So for me, my finally free moment was when I lost that job. I've always wanted to do real estate. I've got talked out of it several times, but my finally free moment was when I took the chance and I took my last check from that job and invested in myself, to get where I wanted to go in life. And that freedom for me is freedom to spend time with my family, freedom to choose my income, freedom to help somebody else the way that I want to help them or the way that they need help, and not going by guidelines of, rules and regulations that are set in a 9 to 5 setting. So that was my finally free moment. Like I feel like a lot has been lifted off of my shoulders.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure,
Mhm.
but
You look
it's
like
good
it
pressure.
looks like you're tearing up.
I am.
Yeah.
Um, it's very emotional.
Okay.
I
And
have
how long ago was this when you lost the job?
This was September, August.
This was this year.
This year.
And how long had you been on the job?
Uh, I've been on the job. I think it was about 6 months, but I had always worked a 9 to 5. Like
Okay.
I've never gone out
Yeah,
on my
yeah.
own, and so it's freeing. I love it.
Yeah, when you speak in terms of independent women, one of the independent women I love, her name is, and it's going to come
I
back
love
to
you
me.
too, girl.
Well, thank you.
I love you too, girl.
Lisa Nichols, ladies and gentlemen. And Lisa Nichols talks about, one of the things that Lisa Nichols talks about is when she was fired from her job because she was a collector.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And she just had a heart, and she would tell people, "Hey, don't worry about it. I'm gonna put
Yeah.
your bill at the end, so we're not
Yeah.
gonna call you."
Uh-huh.
And so what her supervisor told her is, "I'm going to release you
Yeah, that's what happened.
to go to where you're supposed to be."
Nice.
And I usually call being fired like a divine vacation. I've been fired before. I don't like to say it, but I was.
I think we
Okay.
all had.
And then, but it's kind of like when you get out there, ladies, it's like, "Come and get me." And I was like, "Jesus, can you come and get me?" Because and you can talk faith all the time.
Absolutely.
But when you're in the
Oh,
thick
girl.
of it, when you're
Yes.
in the thick of it,
Absolutely.
think about the thick of it. So have you ever been in the thick of it? Tell them who you are and when you were in the thick of it.
So I'm Brianni Colbert. Sandra and my story is very, very similar. Um, I was pushed out. I felt like I was pushed off a cliff. I was praying to be released from my job, but I wasn't ready.
Okay.
And so it came faster than expected. But yes, when you talk about tearing up, when you talk about faith, it's incredible because now your walk is real.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
hard.
you walking on clouds, but you like, okay, God, I don't know where this and that is coming from, but I gotta trust you.
All
So
right.
yeah.
Your uncomfortable moment.
I'm actually my story is similar to Sandra's, and my name is Vita, by the way. My story is similar, and I guess I'm just gonna put it out there right now. A lot of my friends, some of my friends don't know this yet, but I was let go from my job. Um, I think it was at the end of May. I was told that my last day would be July 1st, and myself and my husband, we had just closed. We were about to close on our new home, and I was on that job for almost 14 years. Yes. So that was very uncomfortable because I've always been stable. I've only had 3 jobs in my lifetime, and I'm 37. And so it was very new. This is a new transition for myself and my husband, but where I'm empowered and seeing, Miss Anitria here do what she does was was a help to me. It was of an assistance to me, and I needed to see someone like her in business because I felt like this was where God was taking me, and I needed that example that to show me not to be afraid, to be fearless and to go after what I want. And so I'm at this point, it's this turning point in my life. And I'm grateful, to have women around me that are going through the same path and knowing that we can do this. We can do this. We are independent women. We can do this.
You made me think about something because there is this belief that as African American women, we can't help each other. We're so competitive. We're so catty. But Sinitria, you are an opposite of that. So here you are. You have a Prethla, Prethla,
No.
Prethler,
Plethora.
Prethla. Listen, wait a minute. It's my show, okay?
But you
If I
asked for
say
help.
plethora, how about a lot?
That works.
A lot. You have a lot of resources,
Yeah.
but you have this huge heart because listen, when I went to her, she literally cried when she saw all of the things that were inside of me that were just lying dormant. And so she was like, "Do you see who you are, Delores?" And I was like, "Well, I thought I did. And she's like, "My son responds to you and he can't even talk. You have it." And then she said she prayed. Now, this is what she came back with, but I still love her. She said, "God, what is it?" And she said, "You are a beautiful disaster." And I didn't take that personally because she said she had spoke to Jesus. Now, had she not spoke to Jesus, we would have had some problems. But the bottom line was she's the type of person that's going to tell you what you need to hear when you don't want to hear it. Break it down to us. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 women who can attest to your vision and your willingness to help other women.
Yes.
Where does that come from?
It comes from I'm tired of us. I was in a place where I was working and I give 150% when I'm in a job. I'm very committed. And my turning point came when my services were no longer needed. And when somebody tells you that, and it's like, well, it wasn't a big deal to me because I had other irons in the fire.
Okay.
Because people are saying, well, how you do all this stuff, or where you got all this stuff going on? It makes sense in my mind, because it all fits together, and people get confused. But I was worried because I had the stability in the job, and that's what we're used to. We've been told that we have to work, 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 and we condition ourselves that we can't do anything else but that. It's
Right.
work for somebody else.
Right.
But then it's like, okay, I see all of these women who want more. I knew I wanted more. And there's more that we have to give.
Right.
By nature, we as Black women are nurturers.
Right.
White people came to us for us to nurture their children.
Right.
They came to us because we have it. There's something that we have that it makes other people fearful of us. It makes them feel like if we do it, we will do it better because they see in us what we don't see in ourselves.
And that's strategically done. You do know
It
that.
is.
Yes.
You do know that.
Yeah. And since it is done that way,
Mhm.
my job is not to tear you down, because if we as a community can't come together and empower each other and pull out of each other what it is, if you hurt, you're my sister, I hurt. Because if I don't have your back, I know when you go to that 9 to 5, they're not going to have it.
Hello, somebody.
Because the moment they tell you that your services are no longer needed, you are on your own. Has anybody called any of you and asked you, are y'all okay? Did y'all eat today?
No.
Are your lights on? Did your mortgage get paid?
No, I just turned mine back on actually last week.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, they were off for a whole week.
But see, we got to have, the thing is that you are working through and you're speaking to yourself as you minister to others.
But sometimes I get discouraged because I don't think it's moving fast enough.
But it's not within your time. And stop comparing yourself to other people who you think should be further along than you when that is not your truth.
But think about it. We know when we're given 100%.
You
Right?
do.
And for just the other day, I was avoiding calling you.
You have been.
Okay, whatever. Don't tell
for
my
months.
business. And it's because you have the accountability people.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't want her to say, well, what have you been doing?
Mhm.
Because when we looked at this, I was supposed to have my website up.
Uh-huh.
That's still not up.
Mm-hmm.
But I ran into some situations
Uh-huh.
and then health concerns.
Uh-huh.
That's a whole nother thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so accustomed to just making it happen right away in college. And then as you get older, things start to change. And when you encounter things like depression,
Mhm.
that we as Black people, we just don't want to talk about it. And
Mhm.
what does it look like? Well, for me, it is an unusual shift in my mood, my energy level, and my activity.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Walker, we have you coming on through, and we're going to keep on going. We're going to keep on going. We're going to take these off and drop the mic. So what I'm going to say to my flight still use the mic. Okay, you're still recording. Take your headset off. Okay, while we're doing all of that, Queens, do me a favor. Make sure you go and subscribe to the Fly Nubian Queen Network. This is the network for melanated women like you and me. I am Delores Jones, the comeback coach. I'm joined by these phenomenal queens who are about their business of becoming independent. And one of the things I have picked up is in order to be independent, you have to own something. First of all, you have to own who you are. You have to own what it is you bring to the table.
Absolutely.
And you cannot back down and you cannot apologize. And the other thing that I think we all can concur about is that we need someone to help lead us. Help lead us. Oh, right. Okay, everybody trying to get a piece of us today. Okay. Help lead us in the direction that we need to go, even when it's uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
Even when it's uncomfortable.
It's always uncomfortable.
Question to all of you all on the panel. How difficult was it for you to finally embrace that you could be a business owner? I ran from it for a long time.
Are we
y'all
still
thinking?
embracing?
Are you still?
It's
All
a
right.
process.
We're in it.
Okay.
But where my mindset is,
Yes.
I know I can do it.
You know you can do it.
That's where I keep my husband tells me I have blinders on, but sometimes I do have to have on blinders. I have a certain level of expectation for myself.
Uh-huh.
So me embracing that I can be a business owner
Yes.
right now is not a hard task. Prior to now,
Uh-huh.
I it was like grasping at straw.
Mhm.
Hopefully this time I can do it. It's just I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
That's okay. Do you feel, because I know like with some people, depending upon how you brought up in your home, that's where the conversation starts.
Yeah.
The home ownership, the
Mhm.
the independence. Come on in, sweetheart. The independence and all of those things. Would you have ever, any of you, come on up? She got her own business too. This is Demetria's sister.
That's my sister. She's a
Mhm.
realtor.
Yeah. Oh, you a realtor
Hey, we
and,
going.
and a hairdresser. Well, come on with it.
We're good. How are you?
Hello, everyone.
Yes, all the queens in effect here at the Finally Free show. I'm so excited. Pop my own collar and move my own beads. Okay, so listen. But do any of you think you really would have accepted entrepreneurship if you had not been let go?
I think at some point I would have.
Who said no?
I think it was me. I don't think I would have accepted it. For me, I was scared. I was afraid, and had not had many examples of women owning their own business.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. So that was a little scary. So it wasn't until I was actually let go that I began to own the idea of being able to own a business or to do something on my own. Call my own shots. I didn't have that realization until that point. And sometimes that's what's needed.
Why do you all feel, or if you feel this way, it's so difficult for us as women to let go of things that no longer serve us, be it a man, be it a job, a relationship, a
It's
behavioral
comfortable.
pattern?
Yeah.
It's comfortable.
And then
It's a pattern
yeah.
that you become comfortable with. So it's hard to let those patterns go.
Yeah.
Especially even if they were benefiting you and they're not anymore, you're in it to make sure that they're still not either benefiting you or they'll change. But
Mhm.
more than likely, they're not going to change.
Yeah.
You have to be the change.
Absolutely. And then you get comfortable and then you start feeling like I worked so hard on this. I can't let it go. But when you're growing, you have to let it go so that you're able to grow more.
Yeah.
People get stagnant and don't realize I have to let it go in order for me to get to another place.
You invest.
And that's
Because
what
when
people
you're
get afraid
working
of.
with someone
Mhm.
or for someone, it doesn't matter how long you've been at that company. They
Absolutely.
let you go whenever they get ready,
Mhm.
whenever you don't work for them anymore. So why can't we do that, for ourselves?
That's an interesting question, Queens. You are subscribed to the Fly Nubian Queen Network. This is the network for melanated women like you and me. I'm Delores Jones, your comeback coach, surrounded by all of these queens. And I definitely want to say hello to some of our queens that are listening very, very far. And let's try to get some of the questions. So Nandy said, I'm feeling the sister on the job. She lost her job in August.
You didn't call my line, did you? Everybody who called my phone, they calling, they saying, "Oh, I'm called. I lost my job." Do not have a conversation with me about wanting to go into entrepreneurship because your papers will be handed to you sometimes.
Yeah, that question. What do you do when the pink slip comes with the paycheck?
I be happy. You're happy? Wait, when they call me, I'll be like, "Oh, really?" I'm like, "Come through, Lord."
What about when you get this? Can I see you in my office, please? Like, now, what is this about now?
Yeah, but it's like every single person, and I've talked to them, and I'm like, they have actually supported me because I prayed and I asked God to send me.
My record right there. It looks like it stopped.
I asked God to send me people.
Thank you.
So I wouldn't have to find people. I didn't want to have to post job descriptions or telling people I was looking. I needed a team that was going to gel with me.
Okay.
And gel with each other.
Right.
And we were talking the other day. Vita said, she said, this is very rare that you have women who work in the office, Black women, and get along.
Mm-hmm.
And we mutually all want to see each other win.
I want to see you win.
Yes, genuinely. I mean, because I'm not in competition. And when we are in competition, it's friendly competition. But I'm not in competition with her. If it's something that I can do to help, and the thing is I'm willing to help them learn. And they have to slow me down because I'm used to going by myself.
Yes.
And they have to let me know, hold on, my mind don't work like yours.
Okay.
And you're going to have to explain to me how these pieces of the puzzle fit together.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I've been there, done that. So I have to then slow myself down because somebody told me, they said, you talk to people like they should already know what to do because you already said it. And I said, I had to think about that. And I'm like, well, okay. I think it was Bree that told me that, and they give me a check on myself too. Like, if you're really, I almost said something I shouldn't say. if you're going to be a help to me,
Jesus,
then I'm going to need for you to bring it back. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is I don't take offense to it. I don't take offense to what she said, but it lets me know that I need to adjust to what my sister needs.
Absolutely.
You made me think of a couple of things. I heard TD Jakes telling this story, and he talked about he was in New York and he got into a taxi cab, and the man driving the taxi cab was from Africa. And so he was trying to start small talk. Now this is Bishop TD Jakes. And so he says to the man, I really don't care for Africans. And the man says, well, why not? And he said, well, because, y'all kind of standoffish. And so the man chuckled and said, no, we're not. And he said, now check this out. He said, this is how you're supposed to be if you weren't a slave. In other words, he was saying the aura, the essence of who he is as a man from Africa is something that we were supposed to have, but we were enslaved. Therefore, once we were released, or some of us never even got it, we carry ourselves in a different way. And that which should reflect to us our reality, we hate it. And I want you to think about that. Especially when we see a sister, one that's on it, doing her thing. I remember there's a young woman named Jatina. Hey, JT. And I was miserable in a marriage. Like, can we be honest? I was miserable. I don't know about y'all, but I was miserable. And she's like bouncing around the college. And I'm like, will she please go sit down? I mean, y'all know y'all don't probably gonna say it in her face, but some of y'all bold enough to do that. But anyway, I had to make a decision. I said, Delores, you can either befriend this young woman or you can be her enemy. What is it that you're going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, I decided to befriend her. And we have been friends now. My son is now 20 for over 20 something years. And I would trust her with my life and my son. Now that in that split moment, because I judged her based upon how her resume looked, I judged her based upon her personality. And as the years went on, guess what I found out? She was a woman just like me, and she had her own problems just like me.
Absolutely.
How many of you all, how do you tackle jealousy? That's a good question right there. Anybody? First of all, have you been jealous?
No,
You've never been jealous.
never been jealous.
Okay, why not?
I don't know. I think because I wasn't raised that way, or it's just, I mean, I don't want to see everybody win. A person that's jealous or envious of somebody is somebody that doesn't know who they are within themselves. And I think me as a person, have always known who I was in myself. So if I look at somebody else, I'm not looking at them jealous because of what they have. I mean, I just never grew up comparing myself or my life or my issues to anybody else's life or their issues because they were mine. And they were mine not to be compared to somebody else's. Everybody walks their own walk, and your walk is different from mine. So you can't compare, because when you do that, you set yourself up for failure. Not to win, you set yourself up for failure. So, yeah. So I don't know. That's just me.
So Sinitria is your sister. Y'all grew up in the same home. How did you deal with, or were you ever jealous?
I didn't experience that, a jealousy. We didn't, it wasn't, because I believe that when you don't have the reinforcement at home, when you don't have the mother telling you you can do these things, but if or the mother telling you that you are who you are, or you are who God says that you are, when your parents are not reinforcing that, then it opens the door for a jealous spirit to come in. So if you have a person who has experienced jealousy or is jealous of someone and having children, and then those children are seeing that, we were talking about your children are a product of who you are, and subconsciously your children are going to absorb what they see, and they are going to produce what they've been taught, what they've seen always. So if you come from and you're jealous about what somebody is doing because you feel like I should have that, or but you haven't busted your behind to get what it takes, or we're not willing to do what it takes in order to have things that other people have. We would rather steal, we would rather kill our own individuals and destroy a person and tear them all the way down to the ground to make you feel better, and just to say he wouldn't or she wouldn't all they said that they were, because basically they should have withstood, or just should have been able to withstand your hatred or your disdain or your jealousy for them. But they're people too, they have emotions and feelings too. And so if you are, what part do you play, in building up? There's no reason for people to be jealous, but if you don't change that mindset, or realizing that you don't have to be jealous, you can go within yourself and pull out what is necessary in order to make things happen. That's why we don't do it as women, because we were having a discussion. Things that stop us is fear. We have the fear of instability. We have the fear of no financial backing, the fear of failure. And then we're not successful, or we're not independent, because we listen to outside influences. We listen to other people, what people say. We care what people think. People who have never done it before will tell you, "Oh, girl, that can't be done," and then you believe it. So you're believing what other people are telling you about you. If you have not consulted with God about me, you need to leave your mouth off of what is for me, because you don't know.
Oftentimes when people get older,
Mm-hmm.
they think that they are mature. But what we have to understand is you have to evolve.
Mm-hmm.
And evolution is very different than celebrating a birthday. And I'm going to do a shameless plug. I'll be 48 on Monday, November 5th.
yes.
So she look good.
Like,
she
don't
look
crack
good?
her up.
Wait a minute. Come on. Move that mic out my way so they can see me. Okay. All I'm trying to do is give her a Band-Aid, somebody. Give her a Band-Aid. Okay.
Talking about when you have it. Oh, I might. Off the mic. Because it's your birthday.
Well, listen. Yes, honey. Yes, fabulously 48.
I
It's my own
cannot.
self. Okay. Now listen, don't hate on me because I got the confidence now. Oh no, never worship that, but you can celebrate. Okay, participate in the celebration of your sister. Come on, put your hands together. Oh, it's gonna be my birthday. Okay, let me finish that. But I'm proud of that because I almost didn't see 48. Because when I had that bout with depression, when I was 44, slept through 45, got my mind back at the end of 46. I ended up working at McDonald's with a master's degree, and had 3 suicidal almost attempts riding in the car with my son. The enemy said, it's over. You are finished. Why don't you just open the door and fall out on the highway? But I'm a woman of faith, and God gave me 6 words. And sometimes when you think about becoming independent and evolving, you really need to know what you're working with. And his 6 words were to me were, you shall live and not die. And everything, it felt like hell was just all around me. In fact, it was so bad. Now, you know, grandmothers, they don't play. When we say I'm standing on the word of God, my grandmother took the Bible and put it on the ground. She said, I want you to stand on the Bible. I'm like, I don't think they did it like that, Grandma, but okay. She's like, Lord, we're standing on the God. And I was literally standing on the Bible. And see, when you get desperate, when you're desperate for something you really want, like my family was desperate for my healing, you're going to do whatever it takes. And so if you're desiring to be an independent woman, that means if you have to walk away from that knucklehead, or what Bishop R.C. Blake calls a clown with a crown.
Yes.
Let me say that again. He's a clown wearing a crown. Okay. I don't understand this. Let me come back, Jesus. We have to do what it takes. Even if that means you have to do your own fingernails. You have to go and do your own hair. I'm sorry. We know we want to make you some money, but sometimes you got to, I'm here even as a stylist, full picture. You know what I'm saying? So if I have a client that's coming to me and all of a sudden they can't or they don't, I don't know what the reason is. I don't care what the reason is. But like I said, everybody has their own thing that they go through. And when the ball drops on them, we don't know. You know what I'm saying? People suffer in silence. But for me, it's like I just send out a prayer for whatever it is for that client that I don't see. And if I see or notice that they are doing their hair, I know they're going through something. And it's okay. It's okay. I'm here when you get back on your feet. Do you ever give like free hairstyles for people who are losing jobs? I'm trying to ask.
No, which is why.
If we do it, it'll only be one day for 2 minutes.
When I was released
Which
from
is
one
why
of
I
my
went by.
jobs, I was on a payment plan with my hairstylist. I was like, "How much do I owe you?" She like $400. I was like,
Jesus
"Okay,
Christ.
I still got to
Who
look
do you
good
go
though." But no, that was then. Okay, I think I still owe you some money. I'm gonna pay you for real. I think we probably down to 100 now. But anyway, it's not selling yourself cheap. And any other sacrifices? Have you all had to make other sacrifices? I gave back a BMW convertible this year, and then went and bought a cash car for $1,300. Have you?
I'm a high five you on that.
Thank you.
Because that's a part of the process. Yes. Once you realize
Coming back now with the offering plate
that you
but it's my birthday. Come on.
Okay.
Give it.
Ooh,
Okay. Come on.
Right.
Come on.
when you're sacrificing for the greater good, it's
Absolutely.
sacrificing for the greater good of you.
Of me.
Of you.
Yes.
Because you are willing and out here thinking that you willing and dealing, fronting and stunting, and trying to make people think, like I said, beautiful disaster. Don't be going out, have all this stuff where everybody thinks you got this beautiful life. But all the while, it's effed up behind closed doors.
Yeah.
And once you live in your truth,
Yes.
we can help you fix it. That's what we're here for. That's why we're out here, and that's what our educational seminar is about Saturday. We have a seminar on Saturday.
It's local, but we can take it national.
Yes.
Come on,
but we can take it national because we help people in all 50 states.
So why don't you tell the Fly Nubian Queens more about it? And the camera's over there, so you can talk to them.
Well, we have y'all been looking at the back of my head the whole time.
Just a side profile, that's all.
Oh, Jesus. Y'all didn't nobody text and say nothing. I'm going to get my hair done today. My stylist is over there. But anyway, I am having a home buyers education seminar, and all of the ladies will be present. I also have 2 of my my agents who are not here. So we will all be in at 5008 State Avenue. You can go online to Eventbrite realestatebrokers.com and you can register for the seminar. But we are trying to help prepare you. We're trying to educate you on what you need to know about the process. A lot of people don't believe that they can buy a home. I had a friend who is she never thought she could. Now she's buying an investment property. So you're not only buying a home for yourself to live in, but you are going to create income for yourself. We are willing to work with you where you are. We're going to meet you where you are. Only thing we ask is that you be transparent with us. Tell us what your truth is so we can help you recover from that. We are also offering options for credit repair for individuals that sign a buyer agency agreement for home ownership with one of our agents, and we will offer to do your credit repair. You pay a fee of $189, and then we will handle it on the back end after you close on your home. We make it a part of the closing costs that the seller pays. So it's possible that you can get your credit repair done for free. So if we can help, if we're willing to do the work and helping you, you have to want to help you. We can't want it more than you want it for yourself. But we're letting you know that we are here to help. We're here to help you be successful. I'll sound like you, girl. And help you enlarge your territory. That is the deal. We want to help you enlarge your territory. So don't be okay with renting. If you can make an $800 a month payment, if you can make $1,000 a month payment, you can build. You can build a home from the ground up.
Sometimes the problem is we fear.
And we don't understand.
And you know what I like to do? I like to go on the plaza. Y'all know it's a ritzy place. And I just like to walk into certain restaurants and just sit down and order tea or something, or go when it's, happy hour. And sometimes just save and go up in there. And you just never know. Some of us just walk on by the steakhouse. You're like, well, I ain't gonna be able to afford that. But you have to step in it, like your promised land, and get used to it. I had a friend, DC Collins. He called me the other day, and he's like, DC, DC, hey, DC. He's like, you're Delores May Jones. You're Delores Jones, comeback coach. I was like, I am. He said, you're wanting people to come on up. Or he said, you're trying to follow when you're a leader. And he said, come on down here to some steakhouse on the plaza, right? And I said, oh, this is nice. He said, no, this is where you belong. You see, you have to have somebody in your corner that takes you out of your comfort zone and says, you belong at the table. I don't care what you may look like now. I see it in you. So let me put you at the table so I can teach you the rules of the game.
Yeah.
So you believe that you deserve to be at that table.
Yes.
You have to believe that you deserve to be at that table.
Yeah.
And you got to know how to act at the table.
Absolutely.
Can I get a whoop whoop and an amen?
Yeah.
Now, did any of you all, let's just do this. Have any of you all ever had ghetto tendencies? That's what I want to know.
I keep
Turned
mine.
on, and you have to be able to turn
it
them
off.
off.
I keep mine.
Okay, so what is ghetto in your opinion?
It's a stigma for one.
Okay.
The thing is that we have this this language that we communicate in, and we've labeled it
Ghetto.
yes. But to me, it's like ghetto is something that people have placed on you, so then we therefore calling each other the N-word. That's what somebody else gave us, but we embraced it. So when we embrace it, we're accepting it, and and then we're calling each other that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but listen, some of us don't have the soft skills. Can I just be honest?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but we're trying to give them to you.
But if you're not,
But it's
if you-
not something that you can necessarily give to someone. They have
unless
to
they
have
want it. Yeah. Because listen, it may have served them.
Mhm.
If you have been in a place of survival, imagine you were
yeah.
surviving in the jungle and you had certain behaviors that you could survive in the jungle, you need to understand that you're not in the jungle anymore. Now, before we go on, I have a couple of queens, Janet and Guadalupe. They want to number is again for your workshop, because I know you'll take it from city to city, but how do they reach you here in Kansas City?
Well, you can give us a call at 913-242-7248. You can call the office there. 242-7248. Our office is located at 5008.
What's the name of it?
State Avenue, ASAP Tax Professionals, ASAP tax and credit professionals. We also have ASAP Real Estate, where we do rentals and property management. And then we have Wingman Realty, where we all operate as realtors here in the state of Kansas and Missouri. So we have several functions that we do out of our office, and the purpose of that is to be able to service everything that you need, so we can help you step by step and not have to send you somewhere else. Because when you come into our office, you become family. So, and
Right.
that's how we
Point.
view you. And so it's just like church. When you go to church for healing, spiritually, if that's what it takes to give, where we have to sit and we have to talk and let you vent, sometimes that's just what happens. It may not be a business meeting. It may
Maybe
just
a
be
prayer
you
meeting.
saying your yes.
Come
And
on through, Jesus.
because I ask God every day that when you walk into my office, there's that prayer, that he gives me what to say to those who are weary, because I have been weary at that point. My sister is who carried me in the time when I was weak. And so it's very important that we all work together to do that for others. And that's how we view it. And it's like, you know, we don't chase the dollar, we chase the purpose. And that is why I believe God blesses us in our success, is because we are chasing the purpose. And people are drawn to us because of our beliefs, because of how we entreat people, because of the love that they get, and they don't get judged for coming into our office. If you come in with a less than 500 credit score, that's okay. I'm upset with you if you don't come in to fix it. So if we can make something happen for you outside of us just saying, okay, well, I don't have the money, and we're turning you away. Let's work it out. Let's see what we can do in order to make it happen for you. Because if you don't express your goals and your desires, if you don't own something, you're nobody on paper if your credit is not good. And then you're not somebody in your community if you don't own.
That's pretty powerful. Are you going to write a book?
I thought about
I
it.
think you should.
I thought about it when I have time.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you know what? Maybe you could do is what they call an anthology. An anthology is like you have these beautiful women, and they could each write their own part of the story, and then we compile it together. That's another way to actually do a book.
You know what?
Yeah.
Come back.
Coach Boo.
Yes.
Hello.
No, but
Okay.
we are family. We want to help. We want y'all to show up on Saturday. We got to pack the room out. It has to be standing room only. We are giving you the tools that you need to know. We're going to let you know how it's going to affect you tax wise.
Yes.
Let you know how it's going to affect you credit wise, and give you the steps that you need for home ownership. There is $15,000 on the table. I had a post.
What do you mean $15,000 on the
down
table?
payment assistance, Kansas and Missouri.
And I know in the other states there
There
they
are
have the
down
same
payment
program
assistance,
too.
yes.
Okay.
And we can definitely, if you are in other states, we can do referrals for you and refer you to other agents who will be willing to work with you in your process. So say, for instance, you live in another state, but your credit's not right and you're not sure who, where to get your credit repaired. We can help you with your credit. We can help you with your taxes. And then us as agents, we know other agents in other states, and we can refer you out. So you can contact us. You can contact us for anything. The only thing we don't sell is drugs.
Hello.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can find it in our office
Well,
if you
can
need
get
the
some of that
connection.
CBD now.
No,
You can
not
pick
no.
that up.
I mean, I don't know anything about that. But what I will say is this. Yes. Well, I'm just saying. I said I don't know anything about where you can get it in Kansas. Okay. Or that's why I don't know that. So, but I do know it's available in other states. So
I love how I was like, do you know we can get CBD?
not in Kansas.
Not in Kansas. All right, ladies, before we go, I want to give you all an opportunity to come on in and just, give some ideas or some encouragement to the queens. And also, Maurice, thank you so much. He said, good jobs, ladies. I will pray for you. And we appreciate that. And do me a favor, make sure that you click, tag, and share this video. This is the Fly Nubian Queen Network, the network for melanated women like you and me. And we're empowered to prosper. And sometimes we just need a reminder. And that's why this group of ladies who are rocking this t-shirt, we got to show your t-shirt.
Yes.
That says,
Black home
ownership.
Black home ownership matters. I like that. Black home ownership matters. That's cute. National Association of Real Estate. What? A broker. So y'all ain't gonna be broke no more.
No,
Y'all ain't gonna be broke no
absolutely not.
more. I want my birthday gift though. Don't even play. I'm looking
You
for
might
you
get it
on
next
Monday,
year.
November 5th, 48. Boo. Okay. Okay, I'll stop it right now. Let's start with you, beautiful lady. Tell everybody your name and give them some sense of hope for when. Here's the thing: when it gets so tough that you want to give up, what would you tell them to do?
Uh, Again, my name is Sandra. When it gets tough, if you can always talk to your family understands you a lot better than you think, and they will most likely listen to you. And if they can't help you, contact somebody who can help you. Sometimes people who are outside of the family can help you a lot better than your own family. But don't give up hope. I've suffered from depression before. Still I get in my bouts, and when I get there, I can go to the office and visit these ladies, and my spirits are just uplifted. And she can attest to that. Like, there's not a day that I don't want to just spend time with these ladies at the. It's just so encouraging to be around other women who share the same past, even different paths, um,
Same vision.
same visions, same goals, same motivation.
And passion.
Yeah, connect yourself with somebody who has the same vision as
So,
you.
in essence, connect yourself with somebody who wants to see you win.
Absolutely,
Because some people want you to get ahead as long as you don't get ahead of them.
them absolutely.
All right. Thank you. You're Sasha O'Shea's sister.
I am.
I knew
Bald
that.
head, don't
Yes. Sasha. Sasha has been on the show. We'll have to get her back on here.
Girl.
You're
I had
next,
hair
lady.
last time everybody
She's
saw me.
beautiful and she's trying to embrace it.
I
Tell
am.
her she
Thank
look
you.
beautiful.
You look fabulous, Queen. Queen.
I'm Brianni. My thing has been the word. My relationship with God has gotten ridiculous. And when they say it's a love affair, it's real now for me. And like I said, my faith walk is real. And so we all get in our moments. We all in the office crying sometimes, but we get it together and we encourage each other. And I think that's what's important. And we, as Black women, we have to stop going against each other
Mhm.
and come together to help build each other because we're gonna destroy each other if not. So that would be my my what I gotta say.
Your turn, beautiful lady. Let her have your mic, please.
My name is Vita. The thing that I would say to the beautiful Black women out there is trust the process. One day at a time. Trust the process. I did not think that when I got that call from my supervisor in Atlanta telling me that we're going to keep you for another month, I was devastated. But then when things start to transpire after that point, I had, one of my kids got sick, and I didn't realize how much time I really needed to be at home. I didn't realize that. And that was just something in the making. That was God working. And I had to learn to just trust the process. And that's what I would say to the ladies out there. It's just one day at a time, trust the process.
Don't panic.
Don't panic.
Trust
Just
the
trust the
process.
process.
Will this one go this far?
Hello, everyone. I'm Shalise Hampton. And I would say to women, period, of all races, backgrounds, and what Bree was touching on is you can't expect to take that leap of faith without having the faith and without having a relationship with God. I mean, if you jump without having that relationship and that guidance from God, you will be committing, that type of suicide, really, because it takes having that relationship to get you where your purpose is because it comes from God in the first place. And so when I jumped, he had already lined up things. So like I was telling the ladies this week, the blows that come because life is what it is. You can't expect it to be anything than what we go through. We're going to go through things. That is life. So the blows that I had to take, my daughter having cancer, me splitting from my husband, divorce, all that were softened because of my relationship with God. He set me up, and he will direct your path, and he will set you up like Vita was saying. She didn't know that she was going to need that time off anyway because her daughter fell sick. You know what I'm saying? And so when God is in it, you should have no fear. Your faith kicks in, your relationship grows stronger, and he gets you to where you're going to go, and he'll place you in situations like this where women are supporting each other, and he'll put people in your path. And that's what we've been witnessing. I mean, on a daily basis, it has been amazing in this office to see God unfold his plan for each and every one of us. And even those people that don't know, when they walk through that door, that they might not have a job within the month because they spoke out of their mouths that they wanted to be an entrepreneur, God will force you. Don't let him, like my mother would say, don't make me have to make you, make me have to get you to do what I need you to do. Don't make me have to make you, make me do what make you do what I need you to do. And that's what God is saying to us. It'll be uncomfortable if daddy has to come in and make us do it. So if you just do what he says and tells you to do the first time, it'll be easier. But we as people don't go that route.
Mm.
So if you just go when he says go, and that's what I'm learning, and that's what I was telling Vita, I got in the back seat and took a nap. I don't want to drive no more because I can't. I don't want to drive this car. Jesus, literally take my
You
wheel.
revoked your driving
Yes.
privileges.
No, I gave it up. Cut it
Yeah.
up. I don't have a license anymore. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, walk in that faith call, and
Uh-huh.
everything will be okay. You can't do
Love
it
it.
alone.
Love
You can't
it.
do it alone.
Yeah.
Sinitria, Hampton
Yes.
Monk, what are you going to say?
The last thing I will say is number one, God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Also, he says that faith is a substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. I have scriptures all around my office. I want to be a place where if you feel like you can't go and get somewhere, but you can come here, you can come see us, and we are willing to help. When you are working and you're moving through life and you feel like you've been capped and you feel like you reached your limit, I've said and I'll say over again, the blessing is in the limitation.
Oh.
Because when the blessing, you have to be capped, because if you're allowed to continue to go higher and get promoted in the positions that man places you in, I want to be promoted in the position that God places me in. When they limit my income and they tell me what they're willing to give me, when God takes it over, presses it down, shakes it together, and it runs over, you have no choice but to move in him. So when they cap you and when they limit you, you say, God, they've limited me, but I'm looking for your blessing in my limitation.
All right. Well, I want to thank all of you beautiful queens for joining me, and I want to thank you. And if I were to close it out, this is what I would say: get comfortable being uncomfortable. Get comfortable being uncomfortable, because once God has called you, he will provide for you.
Absolutely.
And he gave me another word the other day when I was, tripping. And he said, Delores, struggle doesn't mean you haven't heard from me. Struggle is an opportunity for you to get closer to me.
Yes.
And so look at every opportunity or obstacle as an opportunity,
yes.
because wherever your mind goes, that's where your behind will follow. And that's from Delores Jones, the comeback coach version. Okay. You all make it a great day. Make sure that you click, tag, and share. And join me again for Finally Free here on Power 98.5 FM, KUAW. Queens, I appreciate you. I'll see you a little later this afternoon or so. We'll talk about